Welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. Last time, we tried to do one quest and did 3 others. Well, not exactly, but we completed the Brave Darren and All Hands on Deck missions by reporting a child's death and returning a stolen chest. We have learned of a rival who wished to take control of Cadnua, but refused to compensate us as was legally required, so Cadnua is officially ours. We picked up a March Steel dagger for a kid who genuinely did seem to know what he was getting into. We delivered a drug and got attacked for it without knowing. And we learned that the lighthouse is rumored to be haunted. So for now we're going to go give the dagger to Gordy and go back to Verzano and hope he doesn't ask us to commit more crimes for him. Nearest travel point is over here. Let's see. Actually, the kid is here in Copper Lane. Actually, it would be quickest to do the Andra's gift, then come back to give the dagger to Gordy. Because he's over by the southwest exit. Let's see, he was over at the Valian warehouse. You're making quite a name for yourself with Dominels. Pity that it isn't the kind of impression you should be making. Just a bunch of Dominel thugs. Nothing I'm actually concerned about.
At once.
Wow, a lot of money. Oh, I should actually set your champs. How do I do that? Right. I should instead of that, I think I'm gonna go with Dull the Edge. So Dull the Edge, Come Soft Winds, and at the heart of the sight of their comrades.
I'm here.
I'm fine with having people after me. More loot. And if they're all as...
Greetings.
Were you able to deliver the package? If you'd told me the Dominels were after you, you could have saved us both a lot of trouble. The Dominels were there? Verzano's eyes fly open and he tugs at his beard. I was so careful, always following the Verla Vita. They couldn't have known.
Well, well. Is this your last day among the living, Verzano?
Frazano wrings his hands. Your timing is impeccable, Tala Pelagina. The Dominels are after me. Please, you've got to stop them.
As if any of this were ever in my hands. The Republic's considered your business worth protecting based on its success. That success depended on cooperation with the locals, like House Dominel. You've lost that. And the favor of the Dukes.
Stay out of this. This is my business with him.
I have every intention of staying out of this, as do the Duke's bells.
Frazano falls to his knees and clasps his hands together. Have mercy, Pelagina. I didn't stand a chance against the Dominels. He bites a trembling lip. I brought failure and shame on myself like it. But you can't mean to watch your countryman die like a dog.
Vetsano. Why are you wasting your precious breath on me? My orders come through the ambassador, and through the ambassador from people you should be honored ever gave a moment's thought to whether you live or die. You don't seem like the sort to petition the gods to keep him out of hell. So why not cry mercy to the one person in this room with the power to grant it?
I won't stand in your way. Do as you will. So what are you going to do with me? Luckily for you, I've already taken care of Donna Dominel. She's dead? I can't thank you enough, Amica. But it won't stop the Dominels for long. I've got to get out of here, and I recommend that you do too. He gives you a bag of coins with shaking hands. That's all I have after this ill-fated venture. Thank you again, and please look out for yourself. Gained an item. Forgiveness. A unique two-handed pistol with speed, damaging 1, and damage rate reduction. Let's see. I assume that's way better than the Arquebus. Lower max damage, higher minimum damage, both by negligible amounts. Plus it has attack speed up. Taxes collected. All earnings were lost to bandits? Gee. Once the barracks are done, I won't have to worry about that, but... I need to boost my defense. That's really what it is. I need to hire someone and build... Do I have any security? Oh, the Western Barbican, duh. We gained 1,000 copper from that, though. Alright, let's go deliver this dagger. And then I think that's all of the deliveries we have left. So then, I guess the lighthouse? Why did it put me... Oh, this is the right area. Kid should be over here? No? Catacombs. Oh, up here, then. No. Dalton. This elderly man paces back and forth, taking short, hobbled steps. His gaze is distant, and beneath it are the dark rings of many restless nights. He appears to be having a conversation with someone who isn't there. And the way you fought, cutting down 2 at a time. We shared quite a victory, you and I. Who are you talking to? The man looks up at you, startled. Oh, my Oh, by the flame. For just a moment, I thought I heard her. He puts a hand on his chest, catching his breath. What troubles you? Just the memories of my youth on the Northwatch Rangers. Trials and adventures from a lifetime ago. He shakes his head. Of late, the memory of lost battles and falling friends has been especially vivid. Tell me about these memories. It's been nearly 60 years. We were known throughout the Deerwood then. We thought we'd adventure together forever, collecting coppers and inspiring songs. The wrinkles around his eyes deepened. That was until we faced Helig of Thane. He was a wizard whose experiments in necromancy left a trail of bodies, some reanimated, from Solace Vale to Midwood. We tracked him as he fled toward the Valian Republics, catching him just west of the Lake of Drowned Tombs. We were fools. Seasoned as we were not prepared for his foul magic. Our numbers were nothing against his power. A wiser man would have ordered a retreat. Not me. By some curse of the gods, I was knocked out, and when I awoke, my rangers, my Royana, they were all dead. He holds empty air in his hands. And now you hear this woman's voice? I know this sounds like an old man's madness, but I hear her, a voice just over my shoulder, calling to me in my dreams. At night, I see her wandering the catacombs beneath the city, trying to escape. Foolish as it sounds, I can't shake the idea that she's somehow down there, waiting for me. I've even ventured dip below, though it damn near cost me my life. He hesitates. Were I half the warrior I was in my youth, I'd search every grave and rat hole. As it is, I'm stuck with this feeble body and the agonizing notion that my love is down there somehow, beyond my help. I'll search the catacombs for a sign of Royana. Tears spring to the old man's eyes. There's an entrance just southwest of here, on the other side of the canal. He sniffs and wipes his eyes. They truly are a gift from the gods. If there's anything you can find of her.
Yes?
No promises. Although, it's an RPG, so rumors are always true. I guess the kid isn't out at night, which makes sense, so let's go rest up. Because Aloth used spell charges. And also to pass the time so I can buy another upgrade to the stronghold. I am loving this game.
At once.
I thought I would have a mediocre,
Greetings.
kind of a meh time with it because, you know, let's just take the common room. Because I'm not used to this genre, but it throws on you so many different treasures and quests to keep you busy. Let's see here. The Bailey unlocks more upgrades. Let's take the Western Barbican. Hirelings. Alright, let's hire a... If I had the money, like the income constantly, I would be hiring all of them, honestly. Right now, I'm most worried about security, though. Okay. So now the stronghold is nice and secure. In one more turn, Adventurer 2 should come back from that adventure. And hopefully, we'll be getting more visitors. Alright, so let's check over here, and then down here. Still Dalton over here. Cendric. A red-faced young man approaches you. He appears livid and stammers as he speaks. You killed my beloved. This will not stand. Your beloved? What are you talking about? Oh.
Wait.
I don't care then. You were with Donna. I really don't care about you. Go to Whispers of Yenwood.
Let's unmove.
Can't get a good shot with this.
Let's hit you and you with wounding shots.
After and eat him up.
Take out Cendric. Now these bodyguards.
Wait. It's made to.
Stand together.
Okay, maybe I should not have Aloth using his melee weapon. Let's see. Arquebus, rapiers, spears, fine brigandine, mail armor, footpad hoods, and money.
I'm here.
I kind of expected something more unique from a, you know, named character, but... Huh. Can't win them all, I suppose. I could just be misremembering where Gordy was. In Copper Lane. Child in Copper Lane. Did he move? Was he over here then? Yeah, I think you might have been over here. Oh, right. Aloth, take that off. And you... If you're using melee, you should be using that for the Burning Lash, if nothing else. Did you get it? Did you have the dagger? Can I see it? I have the dagger right here. It's so sharp. A deal is a deal. Here you go. I'm gonna be just like the Crucible Knights. He flips the weapon into the air and grabs at the hilt, almost slicing his palm open in the process. His eyes dart away from yours as he sheaths the dagger. So, about that secret. Gordy puts up his hand to his mouth and whispers loudly. I saw one of the actors hide something under a loose stone near the theater. Probably nothing as good as a March steel dagger, though. Thank you for telling me. Bye! So near the theater, which I believe is the amphitheater up here. I'm looking for it.
You might find this interesting.
Ah, there we go. quest complete. Oaken Scarab Figurine. 1 use per rest summons 3 wood beetles. This wooden beetle has had lifelike detail carefully burned into the carved shell. Tiny barbs are etched onto its legs, and its folded wings bear mazy patterns. Awesome. And some Blaskin and Amethyst. I guess that was the turn. The trip to the X-Model Plains was largely uneventful, but Adventurer 2 discovered a grisly sight upon arriving at the Epahulio Adra Circle. Over 50 locals had become permanently petrified among the stones. It took a few days of investigation, but Adventurer 2 learned that the abductions all happened at specific times of night and in a pattern for miles around the stones. With the assistance of a Apahuilo mathematician and philosopher, Adventurer 2 was able to expose the killer, an extremely powerful a dragon who had been protecting the Adra Circle for its centuries. When Kith discovered the secret place, she began systematically stalking and petrifying anyone who lived within walking distance of the site. Adventurer 2 held a protracted battle against the creature with the help of the locals. 551 experience, money, and a minor item, as well as some mossy stone. And no more events. What's the minor item? Wait, wasn't I supposed to get 5 mossy stone? Oh, is it in their inventory? Because that would make more sense. Right, swap out that grimoire for that. I really need to sell these useless hoods. Alright, so that leaves Unwanted, which means I need to find Yorn. Need to go find Viana. Since we're here in the Copper Lane, I think we're going to go through the catacombs, though. Yeah, -4 Constitution isn't bad since you're not actually going to be doing anything in there. Melee-wise, I mean. A dead initiate. As you approach the dead man, you can feel the faint traces of his soul lingering, a stunned uncertainty holding it in place. When you near, without warning, the soul hurries toward you, as though you were a solitary light in the dank gloom of this place come to usher it away. Its essence invades your consciousness. You are in a different body now, walking deeper into the catacombs, cloaked in a dark robe but with a mask pulled over your face. You're following a familiar path along the canal, heading to a room built around a statue of a figure wearing a robe much like yours. Others await, clothed in hoods and shadows. Ahead is another figure dressed like you, traveling in the same direction. You don't know his name, and that's how it's supposed to be. Out of the darkness, something monstrous grabs the other figure. You turn to flee, but find yourself face to face with a troll. The panic pounding through your brain is interrupted by razor-edged teeth and claws. You snap yourself out of the dead man's memory. The corpse lies on the damp and grimy ground. His hood and mask are missing and his clothes are shredded. Lesser black ooze and a black ooze. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Sugar. And use
Certainly.
plasmas.
I'm here.
There we go. Target everyone. Rebellion. Money. And grades. Standard black oozes.
That's not very helpful. Lavaru beyond sea.
Oh, and a troll. Go ahead and Searing
How may I
Ray.
help? Lavaru beyond.
I should probably also halt it.
I'm on your side.
How may I?
Okay, we're fine with auto attacks now.
At once.
More value. And Peridot. Let's focus on this end first, or this side.
Wait, sailless maidens.
What's up here? Oh, I forgot to loot that. Lootations. Of course.
Oh.
Malignant cloud. Come on, we're off. Fine mail armor.
I'm on the trail.
Money. Lockpicks. Wait, why is that glowing blue? I guess I didn't actually take it.
What do you suppose that bally thing is?
A girdle of mortal protection, decreased critical hit damage taken. And some Peridot.
Stand together.
Oh wow, that's a lot of black ooze.
Wait, sailless maidens.
Quickly heal Hana. There we go. And then second wind.
Shadow.
Where's the end of that path? Ooh, fast mode is nice. Scroll of Restore Light Endurance, Volume, which is that really powerful gem, or expensive gem, and lots of money. I feel kind of silly going, we shouldn't hire everyone because I don't have the money for that. Yes, I do. I really do have that income. Skeletons.
What? Not even slowing it down.
At once.
Oh, this is interesting. A skeletal wizard. Move over here and do that. There we go. I may need to camp anyway. Well, if you go after that skeleton.
Here's a lesson to be taught. Not even slowing it down.
Okay, we need to rest. Yeah, just take damage reduction. Well, okay. You take damage reduction. You should take vessel accuracy. No, everyone just take damage reduction. You awake to see Durance, his staff held in both of his hands before him. A flame flickers at its top end, casting long shadows across his face as he stares in contemplation. Still, for all the light of the fire, your eyes can't focus on him. Perhaps it is awakening from sleep or a trick of the light, but he seems indistinct, blurred around the edges, everything except for the staff. The staff. He seems to be studying its engravings. As you watch, the engravings glow thinly red, like through the cracks of heat-suffused wood. Wood! The lines stream like molten metal, burning along the edges of his staff, then branch out in an intricate series of fiery veins, bunching thickly where his hands clutch the wood, pulsing as if it were a heartbeat. A heartbeat. As you watch, the veins spiral into a dozen separate circles. Circles that spiral again until they are arranged in a circle of their own. They pulse, wait, and all is strangely silent. And then suddenly there is a great light from the fire, a rushing of air, a great flash, and you awaken again to see Durance in the same place, still holding his staff, but he is solid, real. He doesn't seem to have noticed you, or reacted to what occurred. Discuss your vision with Durance. Can do! Thought I felt your eyes on me. Now come the words. I had questions I wanted to ask you.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skinning your knuckles on the wrong door.
I saw something strange. You were sitting by the fire, and I saw a great light from your staff.
Tell me what you saw.
It was a flash like an explosion, a rushing of air, incredibly bright.
It is the light of the Godhammer you saw.
The Godhammer?
It was a weapon of Deerwood's people, a symbol of their independence. It saved the Deerwood.
What do you know about it?
It brought the Saints' War to an end, knocked a god from his perch. There are few that would deny Aothis overstepped. The Godhammer reminded Aothis of it. You saw its light because I helped shape it, give it life, and release it into the world. Once seen, its glory is almost too bright to be believed, and too bright to be forgotten.
You helped build the Godhammer?
There were 12 of us. We fashioned the weapon, crafted plans for it, prayed for guidance at Ashfall, and it came to me there. Each of us were given a staff made from the forest of black trees around us, glowing with embers and fire far greater than this branch you see now. It felt as if the staff was Margaren's own finger, guiding my hand, guiding the other 11, the shadows of the 12 who would come to stand on the bridge to stop Aethys.
I also saw a dozen bright circles emerging from your staff as well.
Even in that stand, there was a ritual to it. For the 12 that stood on the bridge, there were a dozen shadows cast, a dozen faithful of Margaret, her fiercest supporters and shapers of the Godhammer.
Durance rests the staff in front of him, and the flame atop it curls for a moment, the light flaring slightly. It splits into a ring of flames, one after the other, until a dozen is met.
As 12 held Aethys fast, we 12 unleashed our prayers and let the Godhammer fall.
Then it blossoms brightly once and resumes its candle intensity. In the aftermath, the shadows seem sharper in the vicinity, as if they have edges, and you blink to clear your vision. Durance is still staring at the tiny candle-like flame intently.
Shadows cast by the fire of the Godhammer, perhaps. We shared their fate as well in time. Now the spine of the Deerwood is marked by the Godhammer, marked by Margaret.
What do you mean, shared their fates?
Not all deaths come with stilled breath and stilled heart, or other stilled passions beneath the waste. Some deaths come from silence. The connection we once shared with Margaret, after the light of the Godhammer, it was not the same. It was as if we'd lost our senses, and sense of purpose as well. Instead of victory, being welcomed, there was silence, within and without. Not many can claim to have killed a god. It is less a heroic tale than you would think. And such a death, it changed our faith. All faiths, I expect. Doubt followed, and the world changed. I do not believe Margaret was pleased by what we had done.
Why is that?
The world is broken. The wheel stilled. There is sickness in the world's heart. Perhaps the price of crossing a god. Crossing two gods. Even as Margaret shaped our hands, perhaps we carried her will farther than was allowed. Just as Widewind did. Saint Widewind. Mortal arrogance to match mortal arrogance. Yet if the world had changed, then I sought to change with it. If I had forgotten some of Margaret's teachings, I would find them again. I would make her see me again.
What did you do?
I remembered Margaret's teachings. How reminders on the flesh were more important than the death of a vessel. And I wondered if killing Aethys, if that had simply set him free. Had it allowed him to escape his punishment and be taken on the wheel? Like a mortal? As I stepped from the now blessed Godhammer Bridge, I thought of Ashfall. I thought of the War of Black Trees. Wondered if I needed to be burned to find myself again. That is Margaret at her heart. At least that is my hope. These are the doubts that befall me.
What happened when you returned to Ashfall?
The road to Ashfall is long. Gives one time to think. If you think long enough, you do not go home. I left without telling anyone, with only the robes I wore at Halgot, my staff, and my name, which is long buried. Of my fellow 11 craftsmen, disciples, I know not what happened to them, if they suffered the same doubt as I did. But it was underserved. It was wrong. We had done all that. Oh, had asked. Grabbed victory from defeat and
Do you feel as if you betrayed your god?
There is something about being used and cast aside. Perhaps Widewen himself felt it. There at the end, when the hammer struck. To be the proof that your god is hollow as the vessel it inhabits. I tried to find purpose, and avoided all contact with other Magranic priests. Did not seek the walls of Ashfall, and sought to make amends to my god through actions. I joined with the Purges for a time, and not long after came the first signs of the Hollowborn. So many crimes, trespasses, violations. The Salvation. Animancers were another sickness born of the Saints' War. A relapse of innovation, of desperation to heal what we had caused. All seemed worse than before the bridge, not better. And as years passed, the world became even worse still for the victory.
Maybe the purges weren't what Magrin wanted either. Sweat collects in the sooty creases of his forehead and runs down his ruddy cheeks. It drips from the tip of his nose. His mouth moves, but his utterances make no sound. He is, for once, at a loss. Feeling your gaze, he quickly composes himself, wiping his forehead with the back of a dirty hand.
Worship the whims of some fickle bitch, and you'll never be more than dirt beneath her feet. Worship what she worships, on the other hand. Take her fire for your own, and her esteem comes on its own. Of course, by that time, you no longer need it. Trial and transformation, sure as Durance taught.
Durance glares at you, and staring into his eyes gives you the feeling of peering over the edge of a great cliff.
You think to put the coals to my feet, but what's burned once will never burn again. These talks are your trial, Watcher. You cannot deflect the truth to one who has already been purified by it.
Tell me what happened on the bridge. We chose the bridge because we could control it. Durance's hands tighten at the top of his staff, as if holding it by the neck. It was a place where we could choke Aethys in his own footsteps, where we knew where his feet would fall, a narrow neck of stone. But it was more than that. It was a spine of the deerwood, symbolic of its backbone. Such symbols are important in the construction of a weapon. Durance studies his staff, his eyes traveling along the etchings. Any weapon. Durance's face hardens and his eyes burn, his eyes narrowing. I suspect Aethys knew that as well, and so did his vessel in its arrogance. His hand tightens on the staff. He intended to walk upon the bridge as if walking on the backs of the deerwood, and we intended to burn him with the light of our faith and his. 12 on the bridge, 12 in the shadow, and gave ourselves to it. Gave yourselves to it?
We put much of ourselves into the Godhammer. Such a device is not simply a machine. There are elements of the spirit in it. Even Widewind's spirit.
Elements of the spirit?
Each of the 12 who brought the Godhammer forth would have done anything to save the Deerwood. Save its people. It is why we were chosen. Each of us hated this pretender. That rage, that spirit, that rebellion went into our work, and went into studying him as well.
Why Widewind?
We all studied Widewind. He was our enemy, and he had provided the flesh the god wore as a cloak. That flesh made him vulnerable. I knew what fields his hands had tilled, his family, what he had harvested, where he had been born. We sought to know him, what had led him to fight us.
Why was that important to you?
You don't kill the god. You kill the man it inhabits. And you leave that man a ruin. Burn him to ash. The weapon was meant to not only burn his flesh, but it would burn his soul. And it did. At the cost of our own. And at the cost of our goddess's favor. That whore be damned.
Sounds as if you fell victim to your own weapon.
Perhaps your eyes were blinded by the truth of the Godhammer, Watcher. I feel half a man at times, but even that is twice that of most others. If you fear for my spirit, your fears are baseless. The Godhammer, seeing its light, only fueled my anger and made me stronger. Made me re-examine the teachings of Margaret. Put them in a new light.
In my vision, it looked as if there was only part of you, like your spirit had been sheared.
I do not need you to cast any more questions on me, Watcher. Nor did I ask you to look upon me without my leave. Get gone, and leave me be.
I'm here.
Right. Rite of Ancient Legends. +3 lore for 2 minutes in a 5-meter radius. Corpse with leather armor on it.
Poison.
Okay.
You might find this interesting.
Fine, go around the trap then. No, no, no! Undo! Undo!
Yes?
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Helig of Thane. A lone figure in tattered robes shuffles across the chamber, muttering under its breath. As you approach, the figure halts and swivels its head toward you. Its haggard visage is a labyrinth of wrinkles and sores, overgrown by a moss-like beard. What's this? Who disturbs Helig's work? Its voice rattles and gurgles like that of a drowning man. You're Helig? Dalton sent me to look for Rowena. He leans back and bursts into raucous laughter. His threadbare robes drift apart, revealing an amulet, and a ragged wound running from his chest to his throat. It spatters a black, viscous liquid on the floor with every cackle. That old fool is still alive. I do hope he still doesn't bear a grudge for that incident. It was so very long ago. Dalton believes that Rowena is still in the catacombs. He seems to restrain another bout of chuckling. Oh, you could say that. If you were to retrieve my grimoire from Modred, I'd let you in on that secret. What if I just beat the secret out of you? You could try that, but then you'll just end up dead. What do you need me to do? When animancy started gaining popularity, I came to Defiance Bay in hopes of finding a place where my research would meet with more acceptance. Worked at the Brackenberry Sanitarium for a few months when I met Modred. He spits a gob of black blood on the floor. Let's just say Modred and I didn't see eye to eye. Got so bad we were threatening to kill each other on a daily basis. Obviously, that bastard made good on his threat. He runs a jagged fingernail along his oozing wound, sank a dagger into my chest while I was sleeping, and dumped my body in the catacombs. You look good for a dead man. I'd preserved my mind and my memories within magic and a few timely preparations. He looks at his rotting hands. Yet now my soul is anchored to this decaying husk. His claw-like hands clench into fists. Modred stole a life from me and left me with this wrecked corpse and this craving. He clutches at his stomach and glances at you hungrily, but only for a second. Modred keeps all that is precious to him in a trunk in his laboratory, just as he stole my grimoire. He offers you a key with a claw-like hand. On your way to Brackenberry Sanitarium, then. Bring me my grimoire and my revenge, and you can have your Rowena. He chokes on a burbling chuckle. If there's nothing else, be on your way. More necromancers. Alright. Fine. I guess sneak while sped up. We'll explore deeper in the catacombs later, I guess.
Stand together!
That's not very
Settle!
helpful. Lava will be on sea.
Morning Star. Yorn! The small Orlin man appears to have pulled together some crates and scraps of cloth to make a rather sorry-looking little camp. The thick fur on his limbs is matted, and his clothing smeared with blackening grime. He looks startled as you enter, his eyes widening in alarm.
Welcome.
After a moment, however, he smiles weakly. Hello there. I wasn't expecting any visitors down in these parts. He glances around the dim room. Guess you'd be Yorn, then. The Crucible Knights have put a heavy price on your head. Aorn's mouth falls open and his eyes widen. After a few moments, he turns away, his brows furrowed. I thought they'd want to keep things quiet, at least. I didn't think they would. Aorn sighs heavily. Very well, it's true. I've been hiding from the Knights down here, but it isn't what you think. He ducks his head. It was an accident. It's been hard for me here in Defiance Bay, but I suppose I thought if I got involved in city business, if I made the right friends, it would get easier in time. And it did, really. I made a name for myself. A place. People actually listen to me when I talk. Well, they used to. People can get very passionate about these things. We were discussing, I think it was shipping agreements, of all the things to fight over. But this one night, this man, he got very angry. I think maybe he had a little too much at the inn. Yorn pauses, and I guess he didn't like an Orlin man talking back at him. I struck him. He came towards me, and I hit him. He went over like a tree. I guess he struck his head on the way down. Aorn lowers his gaze and shrugs helplessly. It turns out he was a knight. The Crucible Knights won't care how it happened. They just want me gone. They won't let me live long enough to see the rope. Please. He looks at you with a pleading expression. I just want to get out of this city. The second I can get money for a passage, I won't trouble anyone again. I swear it. I'll live quietly, but you can't. Please, you can't tell them I'm here. I won't let the Knights take you, but you can't go free. Bjorn lowers his head. I had hoped to be out of the city by now. I guess I can't outrun what I've done. At least you're leaving me with my life. If nothing else, I'm going to be disappointed if there's no option to, like, just let him work in Cadnua. Because that's what I was thinking. Hey, come to Cadnua and work there.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment. That's it! Lava will be on sea!
Just some skeletons.
Ha! Dead on! Yeah! I'm here.
Ooh, level up. For everyone but Sagani. Alright, Hana's level up. I don't think there's gonna be anything above 10. So I'm gonna dump into survival and athletics. Okay, I get another level 3 spell, or another spell up to level 3. I guess I take Arduous Delay of Motion. And I get a talent. Oh, I can take, melee only. I guess I take Ghost Hunter, or Primal Bane, because we're fighting a lot of Primordials. Primordials? Right, Aloth gets mechanics and a point in athletics, so he can at least have 1 second wind. And he takes Arcane Dampener. Sure. Sure, take Scion of Flame. Unless there's something better. Yeah, Scion of Flame. You take Lore, I guess. Interdiction, 1 per encounter. Daze enemies in an area of effect. Inspired Flame, Burst of Summer Flame. Aggrandizing Radiance, less healing, but bonus attributes and movement from Holy... Nope. Inspiring Radiance, gain accuracy. Sure. And Kata... get you to 1 survival for your damage reduction bonus. Let's see here. Paralyzed in an area of effect. Ooh. Summon 3 Warp. Yes. Yes. Talents. Beloved Spirits. Increase Ancient Memories healing capability. Let's give you... Ooh. Envenomed Strike. Since you are a melee character.
I'm here.
There is something over there. Fine scale armor. It's just a skeletal fighter.
That's it.
I would be genuinely angry if anyone actually went down in that fight. Dank Spores. You know what? That's fine. Oh, that is not fine. That's very, very not fine, actually.
Yes.
There is nothing that is fine about this encounter. The Sporlings should go down from that fireball. Not sure about that troll, though. Of course, they didn't. Why would this encounter go right? Okay. Take down the Sporling. Everyone focusing on the troll should be fine. Let's restore minor endurance, particularly for Kana.
Let's burn this away! Poison.
Inflict the damage over time. Oh wow! The Bluestone Scepter is almost up to its next upgrade, which is awesome. Ah, Jesus. I was not expecting such an enormous freaking fight. Sagani gains her level. Stealth, I guess? Ooh, upgrade her companion. Vicious, resilient, or merciless. I'm gonna go for vicious.
Absolutely.
We have 2 dank spores. We fought these at like level 3. We're gonna be fine. Wait. Aloth, please. There we go. So it gets chance to cast Dominate, which inflicts the dominated status, subservient to the will of the enemy, and will use everything at its disposal to fight its former teammates. Overrides Charm. Dominated is exclusive, meaning a character can only have one affliction at a time. No one will dispel. Holy crap. That is... wow. Will work against the elements. Boudica Hood. More spores.
Love.
Ah, jeez. Aloth, you're gonna hate me for this. Let's go for the Envenomed Strike. Kana's about to go down unless I can get a heal to him.
I'm no help.
Okay. Focus down the Sporlings now.
At once.
Okay. That was interesting. Like, I would have been perfectly fine dealing with just the spores, but the whole troll thing freaked me out a bit. But we got through it fine. I'm starting to think I can take on Raedric. Ugh. So let's go stay at the inn. Because I need to recover my spell charges. Yorn. I guess I can go back and be like, yo, get working, but you're fine. You asked me for one, and I said no, not until you're older and more responsible. Do you remember this conversation? Yes, sir. Yet I find you out here playing with a blade that clearly belongs to the Knights. Do you see the problem? I didn't steal it, honest. I traded a secret for it. Ask her. Is what my son says true? He wants to be a Crucible Knight. I thought it was a good way to get him started in an honorable profession. Well, I still don't approve of my boy having a weapon, but I'm glad he's no thief. You can keep the blade, but I'll be holding on to it until you're a squire with the Knights. Come along, Gordy. I won't have you loitering out here all day.
Good day, stranger.
Room. Common room. A messenger from Defiance Bay has arrived in Cadnua. A prestigious visitor, palace messenger. Alright, sounds like we should head back to Cadnua. To deal with Yorn, and also I don't want to keep a messenger from Cadnua waiting, or from Defiance Bay waiting. They could have seen me here in Defiance Bay, but I'll choose to take it as a compliment. I need to go to the sanitarium for that. There is so much to do in this game. Act 1 was a little sparse, but... Right, head back home. I'm going to want merchants here soon.
Better indeed.
A return to... Oh my god. Really? Hireling payday... Alright. Talk to you first. Pardon the intrusion, milady. Chancellor Warren urgently requests that you meet him at the Charred Barrel in Brackenbury. Why isn't the Chancellor meeting me at the palace? Perhaps the Chancellor is meeting with you in an unofficial capacity. It happens from time to time. Is it about Cadnua again? I don't know. My apologies, milady. I'm merely a messenger. I'll meet with him when I can. Right. This is the dungeon here. I don't necessarily want to release him.
Welcome.
Greetings, my lady. I'm here to maintain the cells for you. Should you take any prisoners in your travels, I will make sure they're tended to as you see fit. Any instructions? No? No? Want to talk to Yorn. This isn't so bad, really. Fewer trolls, anyway. I guess I can't put him to work yet? Oh well. Alright, we're gonna wrap things up after getting that grimoire.
The keep's coming along nicely.
Indeed. That was the goal. Sanitarium is in Brackenbury. So I guess we can also meet with the Chancellor while we're here. Yorn has
You've been on
escaped
your
the
own
dump.
for 5 years.
Really?
I've had Ichima.
But you can't talk to him.
My standards changed around year 2.
Alright, I assume this is it. The charred barrel, yep. Thristwin. Chancellor Warren. Lady Hana, what brings you to Brackenbury? You sent a missive. No, I didn't. I received a missive. From you. The Chancellor sets down his mug of ale and looks at you quizzically. As far as I know, nothing has changed regarding your rightful possession of Cadnua. You realize that the charred barrel has gone quiet, and turn to see the last of the patrons quickly disappearing through the front door. A moment later, a group of armed men and women stride into the tavern. Oh dear. The Chancellor quickly ducks behind the table. A woman leading the armed group lowers her cowl with one hand while keeping the other on a pistol tucked into her belt. You immediately recognize Gathvin's captain. Now that the sheep have been herded from their pen, you and I can conduct our business, unfortunate as it may be. What do you want? Oh. I think you know. Lord Gathvin has ordered your death. She forces a frown. A shame, really. I admire your exploits, even if only half of them are true. Sadly, I have my orders. Gathvin will lose. You should work for me. The man is swine. Albeit noble, wealthy swine. Her lips curl in a feigned disgust. Were I to do it again, I doubt I'd have taken it with him. But what's done is done, and Lord Gathvin is as ruthless as he is arrogant. He'll go to great lengths to avenge a betrayal. What could you offer to make me consider such a risk? A better life, working for an honorable lady. Tempting, but your honor is no ugh. I was gonna kill him instead, but...
I'm here.
Oh well. You wouldn't have had to worry about his wrath. Excuse me. You should be dropping fireballs.
Yes.
Ah, thank La Baru, be on seat!
Heal yourself, Kana. Of course, it's too close to use iconic image. Well, or projection.
Moe.
Let's try a rolling flame.
So much for our mighty hunt.
Lava.
I should have done this actually.
Don't even slowing it.
It's no use.
Remember how he said I thought I could take Raedric? Maybe I need to act more aggressively toward her. A lot less pain. Attack me and I will make you suffer.
I'm here.
Wait. You're really giving me time to eat. Must be in combat,
At once.
okay.
Wait, sail me, space.
Breathe.
Lava. Putting us down.
Alright. Set everyone to automatically be targeted. Wow, those beetles are actually doing well for us. I had Sunbeam. Thought I had like another summon ability. No, I couldn't afford it. That's what it was.
Ah, thank you.
Let's drop all of the fireballs. It's cheap enough to rest at an inn. Alright, pile on the shield warden. Then the priests.
Lava beyond sea. Lava.
Kana, you switch to your S-Dock.
Lava.
I'm here.
Oh, right, the worms. That's what I was thinking of.
That's
Okay, Kana, you need to move back a bit. So that you can get... No! God. Fine, just take out that freaking Beguiler.
watch out.
It's annoying me that he's there with such little health.
I'm here.
That priest is a trooper, man. Alright, just smack him down. Magical bitch slap. Am I gonna not get to loot bodies again? Oh. Well, that was unexpected. Warren emerges from underneath his table and smooths the rumpled sleeves of his robe. It does make the strange reports I've received from the Grasp make much more sense in context, however. What haven't you told me? Earl Baidmar decided to keep an eye on Lord Gathbin's activities. Gathbin has been hiring a lot of men recently, but for what purpose, we can't say. We'd advise you to take extra precautions at Cadnua. You may be attempting to place spies or saboteurs within your walls. Be wary, Hana. I don't think you've seen Lord Gathbin's endgame yet. He swallows the rest of his ale and gives you a curt nod before heading for the door. Fine pistol and battle axes. Brigandine, mail armor, plate armor. Potions. Eldritch Aim and Wizard's Double. I need to do that and then loot again. Moonstones, lockpicks, and quite frankly,
I'd be glad
shitloads
to.
of money.
Yes.
I think I'm going to end things off here, and next time on Pillars of Eternity... Wait, what is that? Boiling Spray Trap. Next time on Pillars of Eternity... we'll be recovering a grimoire, and maybe finally going to the lighthouse. See you guys then.